Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, if you're watching this at any time of day. This video is about MLA 8 essay writing formatting. Really fast. This is a 5-minute review on how to format an essay in MLA 8. Really fast. Here we go. Okay, here you see our example. You see there's something called a header at the top where you got Jacobs 1. That's the author, student name, and the page number. That's in the header above everything else. Then over here we've got the name of the student, the professor, English 101, and a date. This is an example. Now we can see English 101. That means it's a first-year university level essay. Let's take a look at other things in this essay. Notice there's a title as well, and they spread the title over 2 lines in this case. And let's look at the first sentence of this paragraph. All the news that's fit to print, the motto of the New York Times since 1896, plays with the word fit, asserting that news story must be trustworthy and must not exceed the limits of the printed page. Okay, there's our first introduction sentence, which introduces the topic. Now we're going to skip down to here where we find the thesis states the main thrust, argument, purpose of this essay. Down here is the thesis. The shift from print to online news provides unprecedented opportunities for readers to become more engaged with the news, to hold journalists accountable, and to participate as producers, not simply as consumers. So, the key idea of the slight argument in here is that there's unprecedented opportunities, and somebody could say, no, that's not true, and that would create the sense of argument. So it's not a question, but it's actually stating an answer to the question. The question would be, how are there unprecedented opportunities for readers to become more engaged in the 21st century with journalism? Here we go. They also talk about different categories with commas. So one topic is become more engaged, hold journalists accountable, and to participate as producers, not simply as consumers. So those will probably be the structure of some of their subtopics or paragraphs going forward. And we get down here, and then we see the paragraph number 1. So it's the idea of what is fit to print. Then we get down here, let's take a look at paragraph number 2. One of the most important advantages of online news offers over print is the presence of built-in hyperlinks which carry the readers from one electronic document to another. So that's sort of the introduction to this paragraph. Then we go down to the next paragraph. Links provide a kind of transparency impossible in print because they allow readers to see through online news to the sources, disagreements, and the personal assumptions and values that may have influenced the story. And you can see that they have a source here showing that they've paraphrased something or quoted something in this section or a combination thereof. And you can see the quotation marks are right there. We'll scroll down here to the next paragraph. Source cited in MLA style here on pink, and then we can see the source over here. A quotation mark, accountability, and accountability leads to credibility, openness. Okay, and that's the title without an author, apparently. Okay, we'll scroll down here, and we'll see this sentence. Not only has technology allowed readers to become more critical news consumers, but has also helped to become, figure 1, links embedded in online news articles allow readers to move from the main story to original sources, related articles, or background materials. Now, for the sake of time to keep this video short, we're going to scroll through this long thing which is available to you, this long example, and see in particular the conclusion paragraph here. Here in blue it says conclusion echoes the thesis without dully repeating it, so with a slight variation, maybe more emphasis. The internet has enabled consumers to participate in a new way of reading, questioning, interpreting, and reporting the news. So they've summarized it in different wording, same ideas. And they've put the boxes or categories as reading, questioning, interpreting, and reporting the news. And they've got this word participate. So they're connecting participate to these ideas. Then we'll scroll down to see that their works cited starts here, which means their last sentence is right here. And let's take a look at the very last ending sentence. But the expanding definition of news provides opportunities for consumers to become more engaged with events in their communities, their nations, and their world. Interesting. All right, now let's take a look at their formatting on their works cited. They have their name here. They got the title works cited. Notice the works cited starts off on a new page. I should also mention that notice everything's double spaced. And notice the paragraphs are indented here. To show where the paragraphs start and end. All right, let's take a look at the works cited. The works cited pages uses MLA style, which means we have the standard margins, which is about an inch in imperial ish, or probably about 3 centimeters there in metric. And here this distance might be about ½ an inch in imperial or 1.5 in metric for the hanging indent. Okay, let's take a look at this first one. We got an author, we got a title, a publisher, and a date, and it's in print. Now let's go see a different type of source. Here's a different type of source where we've got an author, and then we've got the title of the article with quotations around that. Then we've got the source, the title of source in italics, which is the OJR Online Journalism Review. And then the publisher, Knight Digital Media Center, and then the date. And we'll quickly go through here and see some of the abbreviations. Abbreviation no date indicates the online source has no updated date. Okay, so we got some information there. We can roughly see what that looks like. Now let's see if we wanted to try to fix a Word document. How would we fix a Word document that is needing to be fixed? Okay, let's go to this example. We're going to try to fix this and turn it into MLA 8 really fast. And we're not going to complete this task, but we're just going to do some of the steps really fast. First of all, I'm going to show you how to create something, force it to be on a new page. What you would do is you simply go to Insert, Pages, Page Break, and now I've forced a new page here. Now, in this spot here, we could go, the author could be Simpson, comma, Mark, and then we'll go down to teacher, comma, Mr. Jones. We'll put in subject, socials 8, and a date is, we'll go with November 9th, 2021. So we got that stuff there. Now we're going to show you how to center the title. Now what sometimes students do who aren't familiar with Microsoft Word and the power of Microsoft Word is they might use spaces. Oh, I should explain that too. So I've got this function in here on so you can see what is going on here. So spaces, or I might use tabs. Now you can't see now here whether I've used tabs or spaces. But here if I click on this paragraph show hide icon, I can see spaces and tab marks. If I take that off, it's hidden. But what I'm going to show you by turning on the spaces and tab marks is I'm going to delete those spaces and tabs and show you the more advanced, more sophisticated way of getting a piece of writing in a Word document to MLA 8 style using the power of Microsoft Word as it's meant to be used to get into professional writing. So what you're going to do is you're going to use this feature here, Center. Now you can fast click it here to center it, or you could go slowly to here to get the full edit paragraphs feature here, and you can go center. Now, does anyone remember what type of formatting we want? Well, we want Times New Roman 12 point formatting. So I'm going to select the entire document everything needs to be in Times New Roman, 12-point font, and that's how I do that there really fast. If I want to open up the font feature, I can hit that arrow to open it up, but I don't need to do that right now. Now I want everything exactly double spaced. The double spacing is here. I click here to force it to be double spaced. And now I've got it all perfectly double spaced everywhere. All right, next thing to fix is, say, the fall of Rome. We're going to make the title more of a hook. Broken finances, divided empire. Make the title more interesting. Now, because this is the title, I think I'm going to capitalize some of these letters here. And now I've added a bit of flavor to the title here. Now, this is MLA 8, so I should actually have the title in the same style as before. Now I can see that there is something going on here in terms of my paragraph spacing. You can see that it's not exactly double spaced here. Now, most teachers won't be that picky about that MLA 8 rule at this level, but if you want to know perfect MLA 8, you would need to either use this button here, or you would need to change the space after and before to 0 and change these settings all to 0 to get that perfect. Now you notice I didn't fix the hanging indent first paragraph, because there's an indent here for first paragraph in this section, and there's an indent here for hanging indents down here. Now these quotes are not the correct quotes for this works cited at this point in time, but I'm just going to show you something's gone wrong here. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to fix the hanging indent to 1.5 exactly here, and that's how I'm fixing the hanging indent. These quotes need to be updated, and for the sake of the speed of this video, we're not going to do this, but I should show you how to do one inline text, one inline quote in MLA 8 style. So we're going to decide, for the sake of speed, we're going to add a quote right here, and we're going to insert from this textbook the quote, historians often disagree about why Rome fell. All right, and now we've got that quote. Now I'm thinking of going on to a 2-sentence quote here, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to stop it there. No, maybe I will do the other sentence because it shows a little bit more of a flavor and a hook. The other sentence that we go on to is, some believe that all civilizations have a lifespan, and that, now I doubled the and, nope, I made a typo, that they eventually grow old and die, almost like living things. Now, the reason why this quote is important is because it shows why this topic is interesting and relevant and important for us today. And so that's why I want to include that quote, that the idea that we can reflect on how civilizations might change 100 years ago or 110 years ago. The greatest superpower in the world with the greatest navy and the greatest land empire was the British Empire. And now the greatest superpower might be the United States of America, but that may not always be the same. Okay, so this source is by Cranny, Michael. Just confirming the source. Yep. And there. Now I would need to have a cranny, comma, Michael added to the works cited, which I'll probably save for a different video for the sake of time so I can do this really fast. But this is how a quote should look during the paragraph. Right here where there's a quote with quotations, and then the source cranny, comma, Michael. And then this cranny, comma, Michael must exist in the works cited. Maybe we should do that really fast and include that in this video for the sake of time. I know it adds a few minutes to this video, but it shows us that we have done that task. So we'll go down here and we'll put in cranny, comma, Michael into the works cited. Oh, did I paste this in and it's not correct formatting? So again, watch out for that when you paste things in from somewhere. Why did the formatting change? I'm not sure. Something went wrong with my formatting, but for some reason it changed. Okay, the source title of the book is Pathways Civilizations Through Time. And I should probably capitalize that T. That's an important word for this title. And I'm also going to make a note that this is second edition, especially because there were some important changes between the editions. And now I'm knowing that it's published by Pearson, but I'm trying to find the full and official name, and it's actually Pearson Canada Inc. period, comma, Inc. period. And the date is copyright 2012. Okay, so we've got that in there. We've got that source. Now what did I miss? I have not formatted the title into italics. So that title of the textbook should be in italics. Now we have added that source to the works cited, which should match our in-text quote up here, which is we got cranny, comma, Michael. They should start alphabetically, ideally with the same letter so that it's easy to find, not accidentally reversing it Michael Cranny, but it should be cranny, comma, Michael. Okay, oh, and the page number from our quote for MLA 8, we need to add the page number, and that was on page 40 something, 43. So there is the page number that we have to go with that. Now if it's a website, it may not have a page number, but if it has a page number in MLA 8, it requests the page number to be included at that point in time. All right, now another thing that people ask are to get extra fancy is, of course, your works cited needs to be on a separate page. How do we force that? We go down here. Notice this marker here shows me the paragraph markers, and then I go to Insert, Pages, Page Break, and now my works cited is on a separate page. And we decided that this is written by Simpson. Now I could put in Simpson, comma, I could put in actually Mark Simpson. I think it's fine for a student's name to be Mark Simpson or Simpson Mark. But if we wanted to do it the other way, I'll leave this here so you can see the contrast. But I'm going to take to the last name only, and I'm going to get extra fancy to show you a feature of Microsoft Word, which is called the headers. Alright, so we got to figure out how to insert headers. They're right here. So I'm at Insert, moving from Home to Insert, Header, Footer. We're going to go to Header, and we'll go with blank, and we'll type in Simpson is the last name, and then we're going to insert here the page number. Insert, under Header, Footer, we want a page number. Top of page, yeah, like that. Oh, there it is. Okay, so when we did that, it deleted our work, so we will add Simpson back again, and now we've got the page numbers there, and we've got the name of the student. Now the other thing we can do is we can select that, go home, and here we can either click this button to move it to the side, center, but we want it on the side, or we could go down here to go right alignment or left alignment. We're going to leave it at right, and we're going to OK. And I'm going to show you a couple mistakes that I've seen really fast. Now, how do we get out of header? Well, there's a long way and a short way. The short way is simply click on the main body text, and now we're out of the header. Now, for the sake of zoom, I'm going to go to 100% so you can see what it looks like really fast, zoomed out a little bit more. And you can see now that we've got this header on every page now. All right. What else do we need to add? What was I going to show you next? I was going to show you... Okay, so now I'm about to show you what to do if it's got the wrong formatting. So let's say, for example, I select the essay here, and it is not formatted correctly. Let's mess it up. What we're going to do is we're going to go single space. We're going to maybe get rid of the first line indent and go none. And now you can see the text is all shrunken down. And let's mess it up a little more and say we've clicked this button. Okay, so what buttons have we messed up? So we've got it not left aligned, but we've got it centered. And so in order to fix that, we're going to have to change it from centered to left alignment there. Then we're going to have to select the text here and fix the paragraph formatting and change it to double spaced here. And for this section, first line, we're going to want 1 point something. Let's go with 1.5 to see how that looks. That looks fantastic. And we've got our paragraph formatted well. Now, some teachers may request it to be not quite so indented, but there needs to be a paragraph indent there. You could also do 1 centimeter there, and there you go. Check with your teacher about what they would like for your paragraph indent, but the main thing is that you do have an indent to show where your paragraphs start. All right. If you have any questions, any further questions, don't forget to send me an email. You know my email address, and also you can get a hold of me at Microsoft Teams chat. Thank you for your attention. This video went a little bit longer than I wanted, but hopefully you got some valuable information about how to do your formatting. The last thing I should add as a denouement, an ending to this video, is that this essay is in progress, it's not complete. And so it would need some work to continue to build up this demonstration. This is more of a demonstration of the formatting. But just on that topic, there are many causes for the fall of the Roman Empire is the first sentence to look at the topic. Why did the Roman Empire fall? The internal causes include political corruption, decline of civic virtue, decline of military strength and military culture, economic problems, civil wars caused by a poor system, selecting emperor, poor leadership, a series of leaders that were more interested in personal gain than welfare of the common people. Now, I think one of the things I see that's missing in this list is it doesn't really talk about the dividing of the empire, and I think that's going to be something that I would want to add to this essay somewhere in here. Now here it says the external causes range from disease, plagues that ravaged the population, to attacks and defeats from the Germans, the Huns, and various barbarian tribes that weakened the Roman military and vastly decreased the amount of territory controlled by the empire. I would probably want to add a sentence here saying, maybe I'll add it right here, however, the most critical reason for the fall of the Roman Empire was the weakened financial trading system caused by the division of the empire into two parts. And I will, oops, I spell checked it really too fast. Financial, and it spell checked it wrong. Watch out for that in spell check. Now here I would want to add because the trade routes fed into the eastern half of the empire and left the western half of the empire without the financial resources to pay for a substantial military. But that I could build on later on in the paragraph about that topic. Now here where I've got the most critical reason, where I'm using the language most, it has a sense of this is the opinion of the author without directly stating, in my opinion, the most critical reason for the fall of the Roman Empire was, but it does actually have the opinion there. Ask your teacher whether they would prefer you to be very clear about your opinion or to hide your opinion in a statement, an opinion statement. Some teachers may also ask you to include an inquiry question. How did the Roman Empire collapse? How about collapse? Collapse. And what were the main causes? All right, there we got collapse fixed. So then we got a question there in our introductory paragraph that also adds a richness of what we are exploring in our essay. All right, I better end this video here because I've gone way too long for this video. Have a great night. Don't forget, you can email me if you have any questions. Oh, here we go. Back again for outtakes. Okay, here's my mask. I've got my mask on, but I've taken my mask off for the purpose of the video. And I'm going to scroll up here to the very first page of this. Example of MLA 8. Another example of a long answer response. Rome will not be the focus of this test. This is only an example of writing style. Rome is not the focus. Ask your teacher what your content is. This is just an example of MLA 8 writing style. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cut.